Explain This is a daily program on NSTV where journalists give an in-depth analysis on issues, events, topics, places, and people that are headlines in the news. And today, we shall be discussing on a very important topic that has been of public disturbance. I'm not alone in the studio. With me here today in the studio is, tell us your name yourself, sir.
I'm Nicholas Ojuku.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. And today, we shall be discussing on the topic insecurity and societal growth. Okay, the roles of leaders. Yes, insecurity. Let's go down the topic. How can you weigh the insecurity situation in the country?
Well, it's first of all, let us be clear and remind ourselves that the first aim of government, any type of government, communist, fascist, monarchical, and especially constitutional democracy, is to protect the lives and property of the citizens. It's an all-time low. In about 30 states, in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country called Nigeria, it's an all-time low. And lately, in the last 2 weeks, authorities like Professor Chidi Okoninkalu, Professor Pat Putomi, and even Kalu Idika the Minister of Information under Babangida during the counter regime, or military regime or counter, if you like, have come out to say it was the military methods are even better than what we have now. And anybody who's experiential and existential experience covered the military era can only agree with them. So yes, the average Nigerian is among the safest persons, among the 192 countries that their presidents can stand on the UN floor and address the world.
Is that all you have to say, sir?
Yeah.
Insecurity. For the military, don't you think they are doing very well?
Well, it's on who is saying they are doing well. The president and commander-in-chief just created 4 new divisions. But it goes beyond having new divisions. What is the level of the machinery, the equipment, the motivation? What is the level of patriotism? The swiftness of troop deployments, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance. These things are very, important. And what is the political will of the government? I mean, you can see the, Matawale, Ribadu, top government officials calling these bandits our brothers. But when some other people from other regions try to speak, they go in full swing to pick them up. So there's even inequality, there's bias, there's some nepotism, obvious in the security architecture of the country. And many of the moral pillars, the moral agencies of states, from the citizenry angle, according to traditional rulers, they have been compromised, they are involved, they are convicts for terrorists and bandits. Our clergymen can't even define genocide. You saw Cardinal Kononenko the other day when they all went to the villa. And even some of his critics were even Orthodox bishops, especially the bishop controlling the Christian Pilgrims Association, one Adigbite. She was heavily critical of Kononenko. But according to Monsignor Obiora Ike of Enugu Archdiocese on Afia TV, he said part of the pain of being a Christian patriarch is to suffer persecution. So we must keep speaking the truth, just like Apostle Paul said. It necessity behoves on me. Woe to me if I do not preach this gospel. And you can see the narrative, because it's an election period. Campaign has begun, and the narrative is getting skewed. Getting skewed. You saw that one sheikh Yahya Jibiri, calling the Christians infidels. And and you saw 3 governors, the governor of Kano, Jigawa, and Adatin Zafara, they were all there. Same people who justified the mention of Deborah in the north. So these are issues. Insecurity, you can talk of political security, job security, food security, child security. The economy has gone down. Inflation is at an all-time high. Our borders are porous. Level of trafficking,
exit and entry. Our forests, even in the southwest, are becoming drug dense. You saw the NDLA in Ogun and Oyo met labs. Now I can imagine with an unemployed mass of youths roaming about in the villages from the rural area to the urban areas, meeting these drugs, unpaid pensions or delayed pensions and gratuities of pensioners. All this converge to make this heritage explode. You know?
Yes, of a recent, the salary, the wages of the military men was increased by the president. There has been a huge spending by the military, basically based for insecurity purposes. But the same issue keep coming up. The crime, the kidnapping, terrorism, cultism, and other insecurity issues keeps increasing. What do you have to say about this, sir?
Okay, let me just say something. You know, my parents gave their life to two countries, Biafra and Nigeria. Their accumulated number of years in the service of those two governments was 70 years.
Okay.
So I'm a child of the establishment. So when I speak from an authority, military and civilian. You know, sometimes something might be approved and not released. Government language is complex. But beyond increment in salary, what is the, I mean, you saw the submission of Colonel Yahya, the co-planner. He said he was frustrated. He had 5 kids. His promotion was delayed. Now, when you read the coup speech of Zogo in the 60s, you could see the same challenges to almost 70 years after. Our councillors, do you know how much they earn monthly and their allowances? Almost half a million or more. Councillors whose whole level might be in doubt. For a government that will make certificate forgery a non-issue as a post-election litigation issue. Councillors almost earning the same salary with our professors, our vice chancellors, and with our generals. Yet we see our generals stranded at the battlefield and then they can be evacuated. Yet our senators, our reps are with their SUVs. Sometimes they go abroad for every little headache. How equipped are our hospitals? What is the doctor-patient ratio? These are things we need to ask and investigate. And this conversation must keep going on. At the same time, we need a citizenry that does not just accept whatever is thrown at them. Let me tell you one difference between humans and animals. Animals will never elect the weakest of them. Whether it is a sheep, whether it is a group of sheep, a pack of lions, wolves. No wolf will follow a weak wolf. But humans will elect the weakest and defend their choices.
Don't you think people go for who they can rule, who they can control, by choosing the wicked and you behind removing how the program, everything is going to be?
When you mean people, you mean the politicians or the voters?
The politicians. Don't you think? Okay, let's relate it to human ideology. Normally, people tend to like who they can rule, who they can control.
And that is the social.
And same thing goes to politics.
Yes, but the difference between a democracy and a monarchy is the freedom of expression. The Constitution protects our rights to freedom of belief, expression, thought, and religion. We have the right to redress. We have the right to recall our representatives. You know what I'm saying?
How many politicians have been?
Yes, because of the level of poverty that has festered through the ranks of the citizenry. I mean, look at Ekiti, renowned for being a fountain of knowledge. Young ones receiving bread being thrown to them. The video of the sharing of rice in Osun has begun. Can a bag of rice take care of one for 4 years?
That is a pattern.
Can a loaf of bread take care of one for a week? Let us not thank God the single term in Nigeria is not 7 years, like that of Cameroon. So, if the choice is ours, according to Karl Marx, elections are sometimes an avenue for the people to replace the oppressive class. But in the same time, where people are comfortable, they can reason well, they can think well, they are well paid, they can buy papers. They have a problem with security. They will be rational at the polling booths.
Yes, sir. You refer
And where this
we need the support of the
yes, but these men, it is their wives that are with them by 2 a.m. at night, not the men.
That is true, sir. Yes, back to our next question. Yes, how would you summarize this insecurity issue? Just give an insight of what the problem is. Where could the problem be coming from? Is it from the political angle, the religious angle, or are traditional rulers? Are they covering these people? Are they the one giving them the strength, the privilege to carry out their criminal agendas? Because some days ago also, that was yesterday, the governor of on Sunday, Ogun State Governor Dr. Abiodun, he spoke at Anglican Cathedral at he pleaded with the religious leaders to work together, to partner with the government to raise people that are responsible, that are responsible and that will make good leadership in the country, not only in the country, the whole of Africa. So same thing the president said on Monday, same thing on Sunday. He was pleading with also the religious leaders. Is there a contradiction here?
From when the Holy Spirit entered the disciples in the upper room, to Peter and co, to when Confucius went around China trying to instill his Confucianism, to when Gandhi spoke of the revolution against the British, to Cardinal Onayeko speaking directly to Tinubu in Aso Rock. Nations have never lacked religious guides. But the issue is holistic. But ultimately, power lies in the hand of the ruler of the state. And that was what Apostle Paul told us to pray for them.
Yes, but there are some religions.
Let me do.
Okay.
We have had traditional rulers who tried to cast Igbos into the lagoon in this country. We have had traditional rulers who poured acid on their wives. So yes, some of them have been who even kidnapped themselves and asked for Baba ransom. What is wrong with having an institute of a Nava-based Netherlands or an institute of oceanography? Because we have given people with those certificates honorary degrees. We have empowered touts and their girlfriends. And they are not the ones controlling the state. Imagine if Solomon said that she will not only look at the movie after an applicant order. So these are in public domain. These are in public domain. And the youths are watching. So in my place, they say when we blame the eagle for eating the chick, we also blame the mother hen for exploiting the chick. Because the chick is weak, vulnerable, and only following the footsteps of the mother hen. Our elder statesmen have paid us, and the media needs to do a lot. Look at the NBA election. Senator SKA was in town last month, and he said that she could not vote. Akpogba did not vote. Ubali could not vote. Okutama could not vote. Even Latina Kogbe, a contestant could not vote.
Even some say they were already seeing the results.
I had to ask Fefano because I was at the program, his view, and he said that he will make sure that the NBA does not go to the Osho election as observers because they have failed the nation. So the moral conscience of the nation has collapsed, and it suits the central government.
Exactly, sir. Who are we going to blame for all this? The parents, the church, the politicians, also friends, peer pressure. Who are we going to blame?
There's a battle of there was a battle between England and France. It was called the Battle of Trafalgar.
Okay.
And at the stage, the English suffered heavy bombardments from the French naval base. In that English her mother was an admiral named Admiral Horatio Nelson. He was one-legged and one-eyed. He now put out a sign to be seen by every captain on the ship at sea. England expects every man to do his duty. Morale rose. They started bombarding, returning fire, and it was almost leading to a massacre. And the signal came that he should stop the bombardments because he was almost going against the national rules of engagement. Then he now told his number 2 man, he said, "Do you know I have one blind eye?" Yes. So that means you know I have the right to be blind. So he now put the telescope on his eye, on his blind eye, pretending not to see the sign. Everybody in every sector, the judiciary, academia, journalism, parents, of course, even the clergy,
Yes, that is
and NAS.
okay.
NAS was a strong social crusading group in this country. Especially in the military. It has changed. I was a strong member from the Lorraine to Unifor to the UN, up to my graduate level. It has suffered. So everybody in these sections that has failed in their responsibility is left to blame.
Yes, intelligence, security intelligence. The security personnel, the security agencies, they always plead with individuals, citizens. They appeal to them, share intelligence with us, share information of hideouts of criminals or any suspects around you. Now, can whistleblowers, can they be protected by the security agency?
This Phantom Councilman, Adeni, how are they doing? You are giving Belabia a VIP interrogation and you are suppressing Adeni. If you remember, there was one deputy director of Inasoro some years ago, one just woman or so, that exposed some criminals in that area. That one was raped and strangled in Abuja. Another woman, a retired director in Nine in Ibadan, she told the police that some criminals were around that area some years back. That one died. So people just want to live and survive and not be in a place where they will suffer stray bullets, where their beliefs will not collapse or flood will not take them or they will not be kidnapped. It takes guts and courage for people to speak. Even I myself that I'm here, I am not sure that this studio I will be picked. But I have been to the mountain top. I'm a labor man and fear is not in our idea. And I know none of us will live forever.
Yes. With the existence of new modern technology, especially the CCTV camera, intelligence network, in telecommunication technology, and modern tools are available, don't you think the security agencies, the military, the police, the NSCDC, they should work with technology? Right?
What is Rufai Ozeni questioning and what is Cardinal Oneko saying? I think it is better we speak as human beings than to allow our God send lions and vipers to speak on behalf of us. They will not be finding funny. And according to Dino Melaye, when God calls a man, there is no glitch or letter failure. And God does not go for Ogogo.
Referring back to Dino, anyway, let's say something about Dino. Don't you think they are of birds of a feather? Because he's no longer in sync for a political party with them to make a statement against the party, against the individual ruling.
Yeah, but there's a difference between an eagle and an ostrich. An ostrich, is almost close to hypocrisy and pretense. An eagle smiles, whether it is a bad or good eagle. So it is possible for people to become transformed. Are you with me?
In Nigeria.
Yes, anyway, what?
Okay.
And Dino Melaye, the last time I checked, I think he's a Christian. And don't forget, Christ was surrounded by 2 thieves. Equal thieves, both condemned.
Right.
And one of them was silly and arrogant. And the other one said, "Oh Lord, you remember me in paradise." And the Bible says, Christ told him, "Tonight you will be with me in paradise." He stole thief. He was a good thief.
He was a good thief then.
Sorry,
Anyway,
he stole heaven, sorry. He stole heaven. And that showed that he was a good thief.
there's never like there's nothing like a good tip. A tip is a tip
Yeah,
anyway.
I am using a figure of speech.
Yes, it's a figure of speech.
You did not attack Wiki when he tried to shoot your colleague. If the TV could open up.
Anyway, let's leave that for another day. If you are being given an opportunity to make a decision regarding the insecurity or to give an advice, what would be your advice? What would be your decision? If you are given a position or an opportunity for a day or some months, okay, take over this issue, take over this topic and make a change.
I will sack the security chiefs and go into the rank of the colonel and get colonels who love this country and give them marching orders. This was a country that had the best land force in the world. This country was a country
They are still the best in Africa anyway.
This country had men and women who conquered crises in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, in Mali, in Chad, in Haiti, in Maiduguri, Monguno, Gashua, Jibia, Manofashi. They are not as big as Canada and Russia. I was born in the north, in the north of Maiduguri State Hospital. And by God's grace and divine providence, I have been around this country in 30 states. I can speak with authority. And I'm a Catholic. So I stand with Cardinal Oneko. Our Catholicism taught us to speak the truth and to know that life is fleeting and that our home is heaven.
Exactly. Our home is heaven, irrespective of whatever happens on earth. Remember what Mr. Iwuchukwu said, our home still remains in heaven. Vanity upon vanity. Thank you very much, Mr. Iwuchukwu Nicholas. Thank you for all you've said. It's a nice one having you in the studio. You've said a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You are really a great analyst and a great commentator. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Our audience is where we shall be joining the cutting close for today. Remember, you can follow NXTV on all social media platforms. Subscribe to the page, follow, and follow up with our activities. Trending videos and keep yourself entertained. Thank you for being with us. Love you. Go nowhere. Because when it comes to entertainment, NXTV is the best. Thank you.
What is Rufai Ozeni questioning? And what is Cardinal